Hello and welcome to Dishing Delights. My name is Jenica and today I'm going to share with you some breakfast freezer meal prep. To start off, I took some of the ingredients I had on hand and pulled them out to gauge what I could make out of what I had. I gave myself an hour to prep these breakfasts, and my goal was to at least get some breakfast sandwiches and burritos made, and I ended up having enough time to make some waffles as well. I'll show you that later in the video. I took one roll of that sausage that I had on hand and I formed them into patties for my breakfast sandwiches. The key to these is to try to form them into more flat, thinner patties. That way they are easier to heat through when you're reheating them. It is so much easier to just use the frozen patties that come in a bag. I know I get mine from Walmart, but I didn't have any on hand today, so I just made my own. Once those patties are formed, I'm going to just set them aside and I'm going to take the other pound of sausage and I'm just going to cook it up for the breakfast burritos. You could use a spicier sausage with these, but I am trying to recreate the taste of the McDonald's breakfast burritos, so I'm going to add a little bit of onion and a can of green chilies, just to give these a little added extra flavor. I am now going to drain the grease from my sausage, and then I'm going to set it aside, and then I am going to prep my eggs. As you can see here, I am going to take 1 dozen of those eggs and I will make these into scrambled eggs for those burritos. I know I say this every time I break this little tiny whisk out, but you need one of these. They're the cutest things ever. I swear they bring me joy every time I get it out. I have let that cast iron pan rest with no heat while I prepared my eggs. So now I'm just going to add those eggs to that same pan. And then I'm going to keep it on low heat and just scramble them the best I can. After a few minutes, I did turn that heat up a little bit and you can see they started to stick to the bottom, but that's fine. They'll clean up easily. But watching myself back in these videos cracks me up because I have to rewatch myself, and seeing my ADHD in action is very interesting to me. So now that those eggs are cooked through, I'm going to set them aside and I'm going to prepare my onion. I am now throwing my onion into a stainless steel pan. I cook with mostly cast iron and stainless steel because they're super easy to clean. I don't have to worry about the coating on the pans coming off. And I'm a pretty destructive person when it comes to, well, pretty much everything. So it's best that I have kitchen gear that can handle how hard I am on them. So right here, I just added the green chilies to the onion and I turned the heat off and I'm just gonna mix it in and then they'll be ready to add to the burritos as well. I took 4 ounces of white cheddar cheese and I'm just gonna shred it up for the burritos as well. Now it is finally time to make these burritos. I'm going to combine all of the ingredients that I have prepped and then we are going to get to rolling. Right here, I have 8 burrito tortillas. I wasn't sure exactly how many of these I would make. I had pre-made turkey sausage just in case this mixture didn't go as far as I would like, but 1 pound of sausage and 1 dozen eggs was the perfect amount for 8 burritos. Please pay attention to the fact that I have zero clue on how to actually roll a burrito, so that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to study up on that as soon as I get done with this voiceover. Now it's time to make the sausage and cheese sandwiches. I just cut up the English muffins and added the sausage patty and 1 slice of cheese, and that's all I have to do to complete these sandwiches. If you would like to add egg, I would make them into omelet and then just cut them to size of the sandwich, because if you just cook an egg and then add it to the breakfast sandwich, it's not my favorite texture, but maybe you would like it. I ended up having an extra 20 minutes after making everything else, so I prepared some waffles for the freezer. I just used the recipe on the back of the Bisquick baking mix box, and I added a touch of vanilla. I always want to make waffles, but it seems so tedious when it's just me or just my husband and I eating breakfast, so I figured I would cook a few up for the freezer so that we can just toss them into the air fryer for a few minutes when we are craving them. Pancakes and French toast are other great breakfast foods to toss into your freezer. Pretty much any food that you see in the freezer section of your grocery store is easily duplicated, and you can make it cheaper and much more delicious depending on your personal taste. Now I am going to take my very well-loved waffle iron and make 4 waffles. As you can see, I am always scared to fill this baby up because I have had 1 or 12 disasters with this thing in my day, and it is such a pain to properly clean. Let me know down below if you have a waffle maker that's really easy to clean, because I need one. When I reheat the waffles, I just go straight from the freezer to the air fryer, but for the burritos and sandwiches, I like to take them out the night before and let them thaw out a bit. Sometimes I'll just add 3 or 4 to the fridge and pull them out over the following few days and just reheat them in the air fryer for 25 minutes at 250 degrees. You might have to adjust depending on your air fryer or if you're doing it in the microwave. I dislike microwaves so much that I don't even have one, but they'll probably cook through in about 2 to 3 minutes in one. When I worked night shifts, I would just toss one of these in the air fryer. I would shower and get ready for bed, and by the time I was done, they were perfectly cooked through for me. I am running low on freezer bags, so I just used mostly the muffin and tortillas, what they came in. If you plan to have these sitting in your freezer longer than 2 weeks, make sure you're putting them in freezer-safe bags. I ended up getting 18 breakfasts out of this hour-long breakfast prep. So I was hoping to get a little bit more done, but I'm thinking I'm going to do another one of these next week, so stay tuned. I just want to get a little bit of a variety in my freezer. Thank you so much for coming along as I did this breakfast prep. I hope that I encouraged you to make your life easier by stocking up your freezer so you can thank yourself in the future. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe so you will know when I upload more videos just like this. Thanks for watching.